A dad was killed by a single punch after a thug tracked him down over just 25 pounds. Mitchell Thorpe, 28, had been sending threatening messages to Craig Parker, 45, over the money he owed. Bristol Crown Court CCTV pictures showed an Audi drive up near to Mr. Parker, who was on a bike. Thorpe got out of the passenger side of the car and punched him in the face, before leaving the scene and Mr. Parker fell to the ground and hit his head, sustaining a fatal head injury. The assault happened in Stockwood Road, in Bristol, shortly before 11 p.m. on Wednesday, March 25. Mr. Parker was taken to hospital but died of his injuries on Tuesday, April 7. The major crime investigation team led the subsequent inquiries and discovered text messages between the pair over the unpaid. They also spoke to witnesses who had heard Thorpe make threats over the money he was owed. After the assault, Thorpe asked an associate to check on the assault scene. He asked if the kiddie was okay, and panicked that drugs were left at the. Thorpe was sentenced to 7 years in prison after pleading guilty to 1 count of manslaughter at a pre. Thorpe's partner Sophie George, who lived with him, admitted 1 charge of perverting the course of justice at the same. She lied to police and claimed Thorpe was at home the night Mr. Parker was attacked. She provided a false alibi saying that they had watched a film before going to bed. The 24-year-old received a 9-month suspended sentence and was ordered to carry out 70 hours of unpaid work. James Ward, prosecuting, told the court that in the past Thorpe had 8 aliases and used 4 dates of birth. The victim's sister Nicola read the court an impact statement, talking about how Thorpe's actions had destroyed Mr. Parker. She said, "You, Mitchell Thorpe, have taken him away from us. 45 years old is too young. We will be thinking of him always." The judge told Thorpe, "It was premeditated. You failed to get him help and it was a few minutes before the ambulance was able to get to the scene. You made an attempt to evade apprehension and you were showing particular concern about the recovery of 3 snap bags of drugs dropped at the scene and their recovery by the police." Senseless Killing Mr. Parker's family, through a statement provided to the court, said Thorpe destroyed all our lives that night. They said, "The night of the March 25, 2020, is the night that changed our lives forever." Mitchell Thorpe took someone precious away from his family and friends. To say we are heartbroken is. Craig was ours. He was a son, a brother, an uncle, a father and a friend, and Thorpe took him away from his family, where we will never see that beautiful cheeky smile of his. We will never see his beautiful blue eyes. We will never be able to have another birthday or Christmas with him. He will never see his children grow up into adults, get married and have children of their own. The sentence today will not bring Craig back, but we hope it will keep Mitchell Thorpe from committing such an heinous crime again and to save another family of having to experience what we have had to go going through by his hands ever again, all for the measly amount of money of 25 pounds. Senior Investigating Officer D.I. Roger Doxey said, "Craig Parker still had so much of his life ahead of him, and his family have been caused such unnecessary pain. Our thoughts and sympathies go out to them and we continue to offer them support at this." Mitchell Thorpe senselessly killed his victim over a very small sum of money and refused to own up to his actions until the police obtained overwhelming levels of evidence. Sophie George also proceeded to lie repeatedly in an attempt to cover over the truth and prevent justice. It was only with the help of some brave members of the community that the evidence built up so clearly to leave these defendants no real option but to plead guilty. This has been a lengthy investigation, but we welcome the prison sentence handed to Mitchell Thorpe today and the knowledge he cannot cause further harm to people.